The Abduction of the Daughters of Leucippus, painted in 1618, is one of Peter Paul Rubens' most famous paintings. This life-size painting is a masterpiece of Baroque art. But is Rubens the only artist that painted on this painting? Who commissioned it? And what's up with its controversial alternate title? Sir Peter Paul Rubens was a Flemish artist and diplomat. He's considered the most influential artist of the Flemish Baroque tradition. He's famous for works like Elevation of the Cross, Descent from the Cross, Samson and Delilah, and the Hippopotamus and Crocodile Hunt. Whoops, that's one of my favorites. The Abduction of the Daughters of Leucippus depicts a mythical story taken from the Ovid, when Zeus and Leda's sons, Castor and Pollux, abduct the mortal daughters of King Leucippus of Argos. Castor, the horse tamer, is seen on the left with his armor and his submissive horse, grabbing the struggling Ilaria. Pollux, the boxer, identified by his bare chest and unruly steed, is seen on the right, wrestling with the flailing Phoebe. Rubens used a cherub with a black wing, holding Castor's horse's rein, to allude to the writer's eventual fate. These twin brothers are the cousins of the men that are supposed to be marrying these two women. Can you say drama? Ilaria and Phoebe were already betrothed to Lynceus and Idas of Thebes. So, to enforce their will, Castor and Pollux abducted the two women and carried them off to Sparta. Abducted? This painting is also known as the Rape of the Daughters of Leucippus. This painting is from 1618. In 1618, the words that we use now aren't the same words we used then. In classical myths, the word rape means abduction. Despite the word rape being in the title, that's not exactly what's going on. Now, what makes this painting a masterpiece of Baroque art? The picture format is almost square, and yet the horses, the men, and the women form a tangled mass that's amazingly twisted. That's because Rubens is interested in painting and articulating the human body as this expressive form. The drama, movement, and tension are all qualities of Baroque art. The term Baroque, derived from the Portuguese barroco, meaning a regular pearl or stone, refers to a cultural and art movement that characterized Europe from the early 17th to mid-18th century. The fleshy female nudes are pure Rubens. Even in the paint, you get a sense of the translucency of the flesh. Painted depictions of women from Rubens have become so recognizable for their full and shapely appearance that the term Rubenesque has been coined to describe that form. And yet, Rubens is a court painter. This choreographed chaos has a sort of balance. As is typical in Baroque art, we have a composition that is constructed by two interlocking diagonal lines. We move from the upper left, where we've got the horse looking down towards the central female figure, and then we follow that figure down to the lower figure's right arm that takes us to the right corner. We have a similar diagonal from upper right to lower left. These diagonals help highlight the relationships in the painting. The high emotion and contrast, two signature characteristics of Baroque art, are present everywhere. Ilaria's thigh picks up on Phoebe's thigh, which shows a relationship between the women. The bent left leg of Ilaria mirrors the bent leg of the brown horse. The curved neck of the brown horse is mirrored in the curve of Castor's neck. And Phoebe's hand landing on Pollux's foot is unexpected. Rubens is delighting in the way the bodies are coming together in this studied, square frenzy. In the background, we see wind, clouds, treetops, and a landscape in bold colors reminiscent of Titan. Oh yeah, the landscape. The landscape was painted by landscape specialist Jan Wildens. Jan Wildens was a Flemish painter, draftsman, and was a regular collaborator with Rubens and other leading Flemish Baroque painters, in whose compositions he painted the landscapes. Okay, so this painting is gorgeous, but who wants all this drama in their house? Art critics continue to debate the meaning of the abductions of the Daughters of Leucippus. One scholar, for example, suggests that Rubens created this painting for an aristocrat who wished to celebrate the arranged double marriage of Louis VIII of France and his sister Elizabeth to the teenage Philip IV of Spain and his sister Anne, all of whom were aged between 11 and 15. In Europe at the time, aristocrats commissioned imagery of abductions to symbolize absolute sovereignty. But another historian argues that the artist is promoting natural impulse over conventional inhibition. Or maybe Rubens is merely illustrating the women's elevation to divine status, as they are literally and figuratively raised up to the heavenly heights of Olympus, home of the gods. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.